I'll give it a different color, eh, black. Okay. In this specific example, I actually lost money as far as IRS is concerned. That doesn't mean taxes are zero. You get tax credit for it, right? Unlike a lot of stuff in personal taxation, in corporate taxation, almost all deductions get you tax credits. Salvage taxes, take the salvage profits, multiply it by the tax rate. Maybe since it's taxation, that's going to give me blues. And finally, pre-tax salvage value minus that. And I'm going to make that purple. Why? You know the answer to that? Because I can. So there's no rule that says after-tax salvage value has to be below the pre-tax. If you're losing money, as far as IRS is concerned, which means you haven't depreciated enough yet, that could happen. Or maybe you sold this for, I don't know. Oh, maybe. That should not have happened. This should have changed. Hmm. Pre-tax salvage value minus salvage taxes. Okay. I was referring to the wrong cell. You can always check on any cell if you double click. It kind of highlights the cells to which it depends. Or you can hit F2, same effect. Make sure that you're referring to the right cells. But at this point, we do know 10 years or maybe 7 years. Of course, more often than not, the project life is going to be less than the asset life, but not necessarily. But either way, we get our numbers. All right. So now we do have a template that tells us what annual depreciations are going to be under different depreciation methods and different tax lives. This is useful not only to get us the after-tax salvage value, but it's going to be also useful for us when we make what we call pro forma financial statements, because to come up with cash flow, we're going to have to calculate the so-called operating cash flow, which is net income plus depreciation. For net income, I do need depreciation. Obviously, I need the depreciation. So those calculations would have been already made for us. So all we have to do is go ahead and refer to those. In fact, since I may need those later, let me call this effect Tableau. So I'm going to change that too. Mm. Makes it easier. If you kind of change its place, then it's going to refer exactly to the same table. Let me save this and wrap it up for today. We're not done yet. What we're going to do next time, I'm going to describe a very involved project example. It's going to have all sorts of bells and whistles. It's going to have sunk costs, opportunity costs, side effects, different schedule of networking capital changes. It's going to have salvage. And given all of those, we're going to calculate cash flows. And given those cash flows and a cost of capital, we're going to make decision about that project. Just to give you a heads up, we're going to use the concept of cash flow from assets, which is equal to uh, operating cash flow minus net capital spending minus change in net working capital. The operating cash flow is going to be net income plus depreciation. But when net income for the project is calculated, sales minus cost notice that we're not actually attaching any interest rate cost to it because we're ignoring any interest. That's why normally in operating cash flow, you would add depreciation and net interest expense, but we're not doing that either. And given that, we're going to calculate the cash flows and we'll make decisions. And we will also talk a little bit about decision making about projects that involves cost cutting proposals. Or let's say you have two competing proposals. Let's say one project says buy an asset, but it needs replacement in 3 years. The other is buy another asset, it needs replacement in 10 years. You can't compare those things on an NPV basis because once the 3 years is done, you have to replace it again. So we're going to introduce the concept of equivalent annual cost and make decisions based on those. You'll have your chapter 5 uh, homework posted later tonight. You can have till next Thursday to finish it, but you're working on the other stuff. If you have any questions about that, we're not going to have too much time between classes, but you can email me about it. Unfortunate that they leave only 10 minutes between classes now, not even 15. So I'll see you guys on Thursday.